Hello and welcome to Totally Abstracted. I'm your host Michelle, and today we're stepping away from tradition, challenging ourselves creatively and pushing past the limits of the humble paintbrush. If you've been following my work, you know I rarely reach first for a brush in my paintings. I tend to use other tools first for creating depth, texture and movement. But at some point in my videos, out comes my favourite flat brush and mop brush. But recently I decided to take things a step further in my latest YouTube video, the No Brush Challenge, where I created an abstract landscape using nothing but the alternative tools. Now I won't lie, this wasn't easy. It forced me to think differently, to let go of certain habits and to fully embrace the unpredictability of working with my catalyst wedge, palette knife and brayer. But I did like the result, and it was good to challenge myself in this way. So today I'm talking about why you should step away from your brushes now and then, how to enhance your work with alternative tools, and how this approach can bring a new level of freedom to your abstract landscapes. And if you want to go deeper into these sorts of techniques, I'll be sharing how you can join me inside Abstract Horizons, my membership where I explore these and other methods in monthly masterclasses and painting demos. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and let's explore the world of texture, movement and mark making, no brushes allowed. So why let go of brushes? Let's talk first about why we'd want to ditch brushes in the first place, because I know some of you might be thinking, why make things harder? But here's the thing, the landscape itself isn't smooth and controlled. It's wild, raw, shaped by forces beyond its control. Think of how the wind carves out cliffs, rivers etch their way through stone, the sea smooths jagged rock edges over centuries. When we use brushes, we often default to controlled, predictable strokes, which can sometimes work against the expressive nature of abstract landscapes. But when we switch to alternative tools, we're almost mimicking the forces of nature itself. We're scraping, eroding, layering, revealing. And I think this creates something much more visceral, dynamic and alive. And this approach frees you up as an artist. You stop obsessing over perfect strokes and start embracing what the paint wants to do. You build up layers, like the landscape itself. So when I set myself the challenge of painting an abstract landscape without a single brush, I thought first, this should be easy, because I rarely use brushes anyway. But honestly, it did change my process. I found myself thinking more carefully about pressure, angle and layering. Every moment of my tool had an impact, and there was no blending it out with a brush later. So I used a catalyst wedge, a palette knife, brayer, a sponge, and each one brought a different energy to the painting. The palette knife gave me bold layers and areas of colour. The brayer created unpredictable, almost weathered texture. The sponge, thankfully, let me soften areas, giving a sense of depth and distance. And my favourite, scraping back layers with a catalyst wedge revealed glimpses of what was underneath. And that's what excites me about this way of working. All of these tools are bringing something different to the party, and you're building up and peeling back, revealing something unexpected each time. And when I finished the painting, it had a different energy than if I'd used brushes. More raw, admittedly, but in some ways it felt more alive. If you haven't seen the video yet, go check it out. I'd love to know if you try this challenge yourself. So let's talk about some of the best tools you can use to create rich, expressive textures in your abstract landscapes. Well, first then, palette knives and catalyst wedges. These are perfect for bold and structured marks, great for scraping back layers and creating movement, and ideal for sharp lines, edges and broken textures. Then you have brayers and rollers. These give you unexpected broken textures, perfect for capturing that organic effect, and rolling layers over dried paint can create a sense of depth and time. Sponges and rags. Now these are great for lifting paint to create softness or maybe erosion effects, but dabbing with a sponge can also create cloud-like formations or suggestions of a misty landscape. Then you can use old credit cards and scrapers. Maybe use them for sharp incisions in your work, adding energy and tension to a piece, or again, scraping back through the layers to reveal hidden depth. And then finally, household objects and found materials. bubble wrap, scrunched up paper, the edge of a corrugated box. Really, you're only limited by your imagination. Unexpected tools will lead to unexpected marks. What's important is experimenting. You never know what tool will unlock something completely new in your work. Now, if all this resonates with you and you're ready to take your abstract landscapes further, this is exactly what I teach inside my Abstract Horizons membership. Inside, you'll find my latest demo, creating a vibrant abstract landscape step by step. My March masterclass on abstract landscape foundations is also available now, and in April, we're exploring texture and mark making in depth. So with monthly assignments, mini challenges, and a supportive community, you have everything you need in Abstract Horizons to grow your confidence and create expressive, atmospheric landscapes that truly feel like yours. So if you want to know more about this, go to my website, www.michellesleeart.com, for all the details, or see below in the show notes. So before we wrap up, I want to invite you. Create an abstract landscape without using a single brush. Let go of control. Use palette knives, sponges, brayers, whatever you have. See what happens when you surrender to the process. And if you try it, tag me on Instagram or share it in the Abstract Horizons community or comment on my YouTube video. I'd love to see what you create. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs in our art happen when we let go of our usual tools and embrace the unexpected. I hope this episode has inspired you to experiment, play, and step beyond the brush. And if you want to deepen your practice, Abstract Horizons is currently open, but only for a few more members. I'm intentionally keeping this a small, supportive space where you'll get real feedback and individual attention, so you're never just another number. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast, share it, and don't forget to check out my No Brush Challenge video on YouTube. Until next time, keep experimenting, embrace the process, and stay totally abstracted.